Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Oxford News This Week. Up and coming on this news program, a training tower is finally completed. The downtown trolley out of commission once again. And fall sports season, well, it's beginning with a winning streak. Stay tuned. More coming up. You're watching Oxford News This Week. Two crucial proposals impacting the Oxford school system will be on the ballot this upcoming November. Resources are available to help the community understand them. One proposal aims at renewing the non-homestead operating millage, which affects commercial, industrial, and second home properties. Homeowners' primary residence taxes won't increase. Currently, the schools do receive less funding than the state assumes. Restoring the millage would actually cover necessary expenses such as proposal for the sinking fund millage, a local property tax for the capital improvements like the building repairs, renovation, and security enhancements. Oxford schools provide a calculator to estimate the impact based on home value. Find that calculator at the frequency asked question. Again, the website here below my name. The Oxford Fire Department's new 3-story training tower, station number 1, is complete and offers various exercises, including search and rescue, confined space, and victim removal drills. It benefits Oxford and the neighboring fire departments that provide mutual aid. The tower provides a controlled environment for error analysis and correction, ensuring safety. Oxford Township Supervisor Jack Curtis thanked the companies that donated labor, equipment, and materials for the funding the project without using local tax dollars. Hard to believe, but the Oxford Trolley out of commission for the weekly routes after this month, except for special events like the October Small Business Saturday in November and the Oxford Lake Orion Polar Express. During the holidays, the trolley, previously sidelined due to an air suspension system breakage, the DDA's organization committee discussed selling the trolley due to reduced ridership, but it shares half the cost with Lake Orion and other sponsors, making it difficult to end its services. The Classic Chorale, a community chorus from the Oxford, Lake Orion, Clarkson, Rochester area, seeks new members for its big holiday season practice. Practices begin September 9th and will continue every Tuesday until December 6th. The group welcomes singers of all skill and all levels. 3-part harmonies. After the holidays, they reconvene for the spring concert. Practices are held at the Oxford Freedom Church. Contact the director, Vicki Sugar, again, at the web address and number below. An incident in Rochester resulting in one fatality and a non-life-threatening injury. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office reported an argument that at the Fairfield Inn in Rochester Hills, followed by a car crash near Rochester Road and South Boulevard. 2 people were shot at the hotel, and the vehicle crash caused no serious injuries. All 3 individuals involved have been identified. Investigators are determining if others were connected. There's no threat to the public, and the investigation is still ongoing. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services confirmed that the first case of West Nile virus in Oakland County came to a resident with actually no travel history. Mosquitoes transmit the virus within infected birds. Most people have mild symptoms, but those over 50 may develop severe conditions. Health officials advise precautions against mosquito bites, including using EPA-registered insect repellent, removing standing water, wearing long-sleeve shirts and pants, and again, limiting your outdoor activity from dusk until dawn. 8 men from Detroit, Garden City, and Dearborn Heights, and even the Harper Woods area face federal charges for alleged car thefts and international smuggling rings. They conspired to receive stolen vehicles, and ICE HSI Detroit recovered over 350 stolen vehicles. Federal authorities claim that the men shipped the vehicles to the port cities using false information with freight forwarders. The charges stem from a nearly 2-year investigation by the Dearborn police. All 8 men face conspiracy to transport stolen vehicles and at least 1 count of transporting a stolen vehicle. In our Behind the Lens segment, oh yes, we love this part of our show, Blue and Gold, the fight song. You hear it at the football games and public events. Actually, it was composed and arranged in 1944 by a 17-year-old Oxford High School senior named Martin Kozak. The song was officially adopted as the school song that year in the late 70s. Kozak's nephew arranged and adapted the song for the marching band. As the lyrics say, our colors glorious will wave victorious, win this game for Oxford High. You've heard it, and now that's the backstory. Coming back, I'll have a brief look at sports, and at the end of this newscast, our last story, I guess we're just going to call it a back-to-school bonus. Dave Kenny's up next. He'll have Auto Talk or Science in the News. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
Who can you turn to for news you can trust? Your local TV and radio broadcasters. You trust us to keep you safe during times of crisis and to deliver the weather, sports, and entertainment you rely on every day. We bring you the facts you need to make decisions that matter. And as misinformation floods social media, you can trust your local stations to deliver the truth. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress you rely on your local stations for trusted news.
I surrender.
All right, pal.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister, and Mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
Sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon. Clear skies tonight with a low near 70.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. The Jeep Cherokee is returning this fall as a hybrid with a starting price just under $37,000. The 2026 Cherokee, reviving a nameplate that the brand dropped 2 years ago, sports a boxy aesthetic with sharp edges similar to earlier models. It's longer, taller, wider, and Jeep hopes it can be a volume player in the midsize utility segment like its predecessor, which peaked at about 240,000 sales in 2018. The 6th-generation Cherokee uses Stellantis' new 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain that combines a gasoline engine with 2 electric motors and a battery. It achieves an estimated 37 miles per gallon combined while delivering 210 horsepower and 230 pound-feet of torque. Jeep says it can travel more than 500 miles on a full tank of gas. Jeep CEO Bob Broderdorf said that at an August 7th media briefing, we used that time to make sure that we got the all-new Jeep Cherokee right and that it delivers on everything we know our core customers and new customers are asking for. That means more standard equipment, more cargo space, and more fuel economy and efficiency. The entry-level Cherokee starts at $36,995 with shipping, although that version and the stepped-up Laredo trim won't arrive until early 2026. Production starts with the $42,495 Limited and $45,995 Overland. An off-road Trailhawk edition will come later. The Cherokee will be built at Stellantis' Toluca assembly plant in Mexico, with its powertrain supplied by the Dundee engine plant in Michigan. The Cherokee is the latest installment in an ongoing makeover for Jeep. The brand launched its first electric model for North America, the Wagoneer S, in January. Still to come in 2025 are a fresh Grand Cherokee and Grand Wagoneer, as well as the Recon, a trail-focused EV inspired by the Wrangler. Jeep's product infusion, that is, comes from the brand as the brand tries to build momentum in the U.S., and its year-long streak of sales declines ended in the second quarter with a 1.1% gain. The new hybrid system was engineered from the ground up, says Mickey Bly, Stellantis Senior Vice President and Head of Global Propulsion Systems. He said it's designed for long road trips, weekend warriors, off-road adventures, and everything in between. The Cherokee demonstrates the versatility of the underlying STLA large platform, Bly said, which can support gasoline and electrified vehicles. The Wagoneer S, the Recon, and both the electric and gasoline versions of the Dodge Charger all share that platform, he said, and more vehicles are under development. The all-new chassis enables ride quality, handling, cabin quietness, whether you're in traffic or on the trail, Bly said, and you'll feel confident and comfortable behind the wheel. Vince Gallant, Vice President of Jeep Global Design, said he gave his team a mission to craft a vehicle with clean, simple, rugged styling. The front fascia has a boxy, squared-off LED headlights with daytime running light accents that Jeep describes as a distinct U-shape. The 7-slot grille has been highlighted with metallic trim. Jeep says designers use 4 motifs to guide the creation of the interior: active, playful, practical, and progressive. Standard features include a 12.3-inch infotainment screen, a 10.25-inch full-cover digital instrument cluster, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist identification, drowsy eye detection, and a level 2 driver assistance system with adaptive cruise control. Options include a dual-pane sunroof, a digital rear-view mirror, heated rear seats, and Amazon's Alexa in-vehicle assistant. The Cherokee boasts a larger cockpit, the brand said, and has 30% more interior storage than its predecessor. Up front, a new rotary gear selector helps maximize space for everyday items. Well, can't wait to see that. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
In today's digital world, it's hard to know who to trust. Your local TV and radio stations bring you the facts. Misinformation and deep fakes flood social media, but broadcasters deliver verified and accurate news. For news, emergency updates, sports, and entertainment, Turn to your local stations. Text TV to 52886 and urge Congress to support the vital local journalism broadcasters provide.
Welcome back to Oxford News this week. Oh, yes, we love the fall. Fall sports back in session. Varsity football team off to a very strong start, 2-0 record. They won their season opener at Heartland against Heartland 23-7. On the road, they defeated Groves, a tough Groves team, 24-21. This marks their first 2-0 record since back in 2018. As an addendum to that football team, we want to congratulate former coach Zach Line with Denver, the Broncos, picking up a victory. And one of our kickers last year, Drew Cady, went 3 for 3 on Saturday football and won the game for his team in his new college endeavors. Congratulating them. The Oxford girls swim and dive team performing very well. They won their first home meet against Bishop Foley. The score there, very close, 99-83. Additionally, Oxford volleyball had strong season openers, sweeping Lapeer in 3 sets at 25-22, 25-19, and 25-14. And that's going to wrap it up in sports. We urge you to stay tuned on weekends as we'll be broadcasting our fall sports. And again, you can catch that on any one of our platforms. We'll be back in a moment. I know Dave Kenny's got one more story, and we'll do the last story at the end of this newscast. Stay there. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
In today's digital world, it's hard to know who to trust. Your local TV and radio stations bring you the facts. Misinformation and deep fakes flood social media, but broadcasters deliver verified and accurate news. For news, emergency updates, sports, and entertainment, turn to your local stations. Text TV to 52886 and urge Congress to support the vital local journalism broadcasters provide.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains.
Seriously, no sparks.
But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. We are now unlocking how frozen microbes can stay alive for 100,000 years. Microbes isolated from the Siberian permafrost appear to have remained alive for more than 100,000 years based on an analysis of their DNA. Their genetic overlap with other species suggests astonishingly long lifespans, which may be widespread among the closest living relatives of all organisms with complex cells. Other microbes have been isolated from extremely ancient marine sediments, some more than 100 million years old, but it remains unclear whether individual organisms can survive over those stretches of time. I can't run an experiment that long, says Karen Lloyd of the University of Southern California. Time is the weirdest variable to work with. Lloyd and her colleagues wanted to look for microbes in places where they had not changed for a very long periods of time, reasoning anything still living there must be as old as the surrounding environment. That search took them to the Chukchi Peninsula at the easternmost edge of Siberia, where they drilled a 22-meter-long core of permafrost. This let the researchers sample DNA from a layer of marine sediment that froze somewhere between 100,000 and 120,000 years ago. The sediment contained pores of liquid water where microbes might have been trapped, with no nutrients or organisms able to move in or out. Being frozen means there are these ice structures around them, says Lloyd. The next question was how to distinguish between living and dead cells. To do so, the researchers sequenced millions of DNA fragments from the permafrost, using them to reconstruct the genomes of all the different microbial species present. They then added an enzyme to the mix that would repair degraded DNA and repeated the reconstruction process. Most of the reconstructed genomes were much more complete after the researchers added the DNA repair enzyme, suggesting they came from dead cells that had not been actively maintaining their DNA's integrity, says Lloyd. However, genomes from 6 species barely changed, implying the DNA came from living cells that had actively maintained their genomes since being frozen at least 100,000 years earlier. All species with intact DNA came from the phylum Ontw, also known as the Asgard archaea, which I'm going to use. These organisms are considered the closest living relatives of all eukaryotes, the domain of life that includes animals, plants, fungi, and protists. Finding living Asgard archaea in ancient permafrost provides a window into their evolutionary history and how they may have influenced the emergence of complex life forms, especially during periods when Earth was completely frozen, says team member Renxing Liang at the China University of Geosciences. A further surprise was the long-lived species weren't appreciably different from Asgard archaea isolated in less restricted environments. All of them shared the similar genes for protein and DNA repair, which may have enabled them to slowly replace parts of their cells without dividing, while in extremely low-energy environments. They are like the most boring Asgards in the world, says Lloyd. The fact that they're boring implies that this is something all of them can do. Stephen Daunt at the University of Rhode Island says the research is a real advance towards understanding extremely long lifespans, both how widespread that might be and the evolutionary basis for them. However, he cautions against applying these findings beyond frozen settings like the permafrost. Being frozen for a long time with no activity is not the same as living for a long time with a very low level of activity, he says. And the research goes on. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the US population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Back with you in our last story. The Village of Oxford, the police department received a $2,000 donation from Vibe Credit Union for school supplies. These funds will be passed out via the Oxford Addison Youth Assistance to help local families in need. Oxford Police Chief Mike Sowald expressed pride in the partnership with the OAYA to support the community. Good stuff. Always love that last story, giving us a little bit of a positive to end our newscast. Once again, we hope you guys are having a good one wherever you are, kind of getting back to a normal schedule with the fall and all the school activities that are going on. We just want to remind you that OCTV is available on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, ATT on the Uverse Channel 99, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Amazon, the Fire Stick, and the Roku app. If you have a show idea, maybe you'd like to volunteer, we will take that without a problem. Please call our office at 248-628-9658. Ask for Dave or even Terry, and we'll set you up there. Special thank you going out to the producer, director, and the man that runs it all in the back, Mr. Kyle Stage, news writer extraordinaire, Allison Miller, and our own station manager, not here today, Terry Stiles. We'd like to definitely thank her for that as well. Thanking the many entities that kick in funding so we can do what we do here on a weekly basis. Until next time, I hope you have a great week and have a safe week, and I invite you back next time as we will take a look at Oxford News this week.